I don't think anybody should be using a LinkTree anymore. I think that that was a good place to start when you didn't have anything. I think it was a good place to start when there wasn't a lot of options available, but now it's past that point, and I think that you should be using your own website as the LinkTree, and you should be setting up a post, a blog post in particular, as your LinkTree. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. I'm going to do it for my recipe blog. It's a newer blog. I'm still like learning to launch it all and figuring out how to do it on Pinterest and everything. So I'll report back when I have more traffic for it and a better idea of everything. But the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to add a new post. And what we want to do is we want to set it up with buttons like a LinkTree would have to make everything as easy as possible for the person who's going to be clicking on this to navigate very easily to your website. So for me, I don't have any social media yet for this blog because it's still brand new and I'm only using it on Pinterest right now, but I can add a button for that on Pinterest. But the other part is this blog post in particular needs to have some sort of writing and copy for it as well, so that if it's the thing that's most clicked on your website, you need to have long form content in order to get into ad networks. So this is something that you need to add. Even if people aren't going to read that part of it, you need to have enough text on there so that it can be considered long enough form content. So I am going to start by adding that. I'd already wrote it out and I'm just going to add that here just to have that in there. I never put his name, Josh. And then I'm gonna add just a pretty basic title. I don't care if this LinkTree is SEO friendly because it needs to just be a thing that people are going to click on. They don't necessarily need to find this on Google or something. So for this, I'm just going to write something that I'm either going to write something that is helpful for people. So let's say that they were looking for something specific. So on my other blog, I have a job board that's a little bit further down, and that's what everybody clicks on my link for. And so when I had this set up for my other one, I had scroll down for the remote job board as the title, because that is helpful for the user that's clicking on it, but it's also helpful, and you don't need something that is going to be ranking, and you don't need to do keyword research for this in particular. So for me here, I'm just going to write something about clicking links, or like I don't even know. I should have thought of something before, but like use the links below or something. At the moment, this really doesn't matter because I don't need to worry about this because I don't have any social media yet. So then we want to start adding some customization. So the first thing that I would do is you can add any sort of blocks or anything that you want, but I think it's super helpful to have buttons because that is how a LinkTree is set up. So we're going to do the same thing here, and we're going to add some buttons. I don't know why this isn't working. So I don't think a button can be the first thing, but what we're going to do is we're going to align this to the center, and we're just going to add Pinterest right here. And we're also going to add the link for that right here. And then we have that linked. I like to make these big enough for that. I like to bold it. I want it to stand out. And then we can add some other buttons as well. So it might just be easier to just duplicate this and have it right underneath. And then for this, because we don't have a lot of other social media and things that we want to link to, this is also a good place for affiliate links. Instead, I would just put just something that you can link to. So maybe like most popular categories. So I would put like recipes, dinner recipes, and then we can link to our category, which should come up. Perfect. And then I'm going to duplicate this one more time. I would never do more than 6 buttons just because it can be overwhelming as a user to see multiple buttons and want to click around and stuff. I'm just gonna go back to my website and see what might be good. Maybe the snack. Snack would be a good one to add a category for. And we're gonna do snack recipes and then add the link for the snack category right here. So now we have these things here. I'm gonna use my Grammarly and fix all of this because I'm Canadian and it doesn't always add the U's. But this is basically how I would have it set up to our little corner of the internet, our food blog. Use the links below, and it's very easy to have it set up like this. If you wanted to have affiliate links, again, this is a really good place to have them, or just quick links. And again, I also would not have more than 6 buttons here. It's just way too overwhelming. So we are just going to publish this, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like on the other side once it has finished publishing. There's just one more thing that I want to change before. Because I used this as my blog title, it automatically, when you go to WordPress, it automatically uses whatever the title is as your slug. For the slug, I just want it to be something super simple like links, so that when it pops up and you go here, this is gonna mess with it just a little bit because there's not gonna be a picture for it, but I'm gonna change that later. But this is what it's gonna look like. I have to change the colors because obviously this is not accessible and we're gonna have to change that. But it's just got the title of the use the links below, sorry. We have the buttons here and we have the copy that we need. But then you can also see here that it's parentingplate.com/links, and then we have this as our links, so that if there's a case where I created an Instagram or I create a TikTok and I need to put a link in the bio, then I have this and it's very easy to read. It's super simple and people know exactly what it is. And this is also a great place for if you have a brand that's like, hey, can you put my thing, like you do like sponsorship, and the brand's like, hey, can you put a link? So we're just gonna go in here and you're gonna get this error warning about the 404 visitors and stuff, but like it's not gonna matter because we changed it before we put the link out to anybody. But we want to just change the style of these buttons. So you can go in and do custom code if you want, but otherwise you can change the text color here. I just change it to white. I'm going to keep the background the same, but I do also want to change the typography to large just to make it as easy as possible to read. Again, the text is going to be white and we're going to change this to large, and then one more time, text white and large, so that when we save it again and then we go back and view it on this website after I refresh it, then you'll be able to see how much easier it is to read, just like that. So this is how I would set up a LinkTree as my website instead, and then you would just use this URL right here as the link in your bio on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, whatever it is that you're using. It's just so much cleaner, and the good thing too is that then users are directly right on your website already. So if they're on desktop, it's even easier, but on mobile, they can just click around on your website. And that's why it's also so important to have internal linking and linking to other things. For instance, I could have highlighted this and added an internal link to our About Us page. I'm not going to do that right now because this isn't important just yet. But I think that this is so important to have it set up like this instead of having a link tree. So I hope that was helpful. Make sure you like this video and subscribe because I will be sharing some more videos on blogging tips.